My name is Avin. I'm an assistant manager with MapleLMS, and today, in the next few minutes, I'll show you how we use AI to solve some of the biggest challenges in the learning and development space. One of that is slow course creation, inconsistent assessments, and overwhelmed learners and admins. Let me show you how MapleLMS transforms these pain points into fast and accurate solutions. So I'm gonna dive right into my LMS account. And for this demonstration, I'm logged in as an administrator with full capabilities. You're looking at one of our demo sites right now. Well, let's talk about the first challenge, which is around creating trainings. So creating training takes too long. In most organizations, building a course takes days or weeks. You need to outline modules, write descriptions, find the right structure. It's slow and resource heavy, and MapleLMS resolves this challenge with the help of its AI-powered course creator. So I'll demonstrate an example of that to begin with. For instance, if we go about creating a course, what we really need is we need to provide some inputs to create our course. And that could be title of your course. So let's say Workplace Safety Basics Online course. And I'm going to add a prompt uh, for this course. So two things really to build out your course outline or your course structure. And let's say we need about 4 topics. We do not need to add description at this point. The description will be created automatically as well. So from here, let's go next. And in a few seconds, it will structure some suggested content or suggested topics, a full course outline, and also summarize these topics. So there we go. With that, we're getting a few suggested topics through AI, hazard identification and risk assessment, ergonomics in the workplace, and also about legal standards and regulatory compliance for safety. So those make sense to me for the kind of course I'm trying to build, and that's how the suggestions come along. You do have an option to regenerate the content if you feel it needs to be refined. But with that, I'm going to go next. And finally, we'll see a final outline of our course. So the name of our course, description created automatically, the suggested topics that we saw, which already had a description. And lastly, I'll simply review and publish. But with this capability, you're not really starting from a blank page. Instead of starting from a blank page, instructors start from a well-organized editable draft. And this is what that draft could look like. Or for topics with some summaries or descriptions beneath those. And with that, we can move into next item as well, which could be adding content or adding some activities to a course. So typically what used to take hours now takes less than a minute, helping teams create training 10x faster. Next, I'm gonna walk you through one of our latest developments, which is a question generator, mainly helpful for assessments. And writing good quiz questions is difficult and also sometimes inconsistent. Assessments often take longer than the actual content. Not everyone is good at writing clear, fair, or well structured questions, which leads to inconsistency or inaccurate testing. The MapleLMS resolves this with the built in AI question generator. Let's see how this works. So assume that we have this course, and let's say we were to add a quiz to it. I'm going to go ahead, search for a quiz, give it a title, let's say quiz, and I'll leave rest of the settings behind, but simply save and display. What I'll see next is an option to generate questions with the AI question generator. And this is what the interface looks like. There are 2 ways it can generate questions for you. Firstly, based on your current course content. So that could be summary of your course, maybe topics, or maybe a custom module. And you also have an option to write a separate prompt to generate questions. So let's say if I type in workplace safety and compliance. Okay, let's say that's my prompt. I'll say 4 questions for now, and I need multiple choice questions. And lastly, we would generate questions out of it. But in a few seconds, what you'll notice is a few questions being generated. There we go. Now we have 4 questions. We asked for 4 questions. If we were to preview, that's what your question looks like. And the right and wrong answer choices are already feed into it. But with that, I can simply add these questions to my quiz, and my quiz is now ready for participants. So that capability really helps you save time in building out assessments. And well, in this case, we just built out a quiz with 4 questions. You can definitely create many more questions using the question generator. So we saw that it instantly created a well-structured question. We had multiple choice questions and also the right answers added into it. This will ensure assessments are consistent, accurate, and ready in seconds, saving trainers a ton of time. Next, I'm going to walk you through another problem, which is around some struggles for a learner as well as for an administrator. Now, as a learner, I want more context and assistance with the course. And as an admin, I need assistance related to my admin capabilities. So we have developed a built-in AI assistant that supports both learners and admins. And MapleLMS's built-in AI assistant, also known as a Q&A assistant, can provide assistance to a learner in a course and also support admins with instructions and guidance related to their admin capabilities. Let's take a look at this in action. Firstly, let's dive into a course, for example, this course. And let's say we are a learner into this course. This course has plenty of content. And maybe if I had some questions about a topic or some sections into the course, or maybe a module, I can go to the Q&A assistant. It says, how can I help you in the course? Think straight. And let's say we ask, what is this course about? Now, once I type that in, it will generate a response for me, but it's actually just looking at the course content. So it's not pulling information from outside. It's looking at your current course content and generating responses accordingly. Now, also one thing to notice, it won't really give out answers to questions in a quiz to an individual. So that's a safer way. But then there could be more questions that I can ask. Maybe who is the author of this course? And if that information exists into the course, it will give you the response right away. That's one way on how learners can use the Q&A assistant into MapleLMS and ask any type of questions related to a course. The AI can look into your course content and create responses accordingly. Let's say if you're an administrator and you were to get some assistance, and I'll say, the ability to support admins is one of the best, because typically when you get started with a new LMS, you have to go through a learning curve, watching videos, maybe taking trainings, or even reading some guides. Now, that could be time consuming, but if you need some assistance on the go, you have a Q&A assistant available. For example, here I can ask, how do I add an assignment? And I'm just taking some simple examples over here where we can ask robust questions as well. And with that, it's coming back to me with some steps on how I can get started. I do have an option to provide feedback as well. But this is how it responds to the administrator, providing steps and instructions right away with some reference links on the bottom as well. But overall, this makes learning smoother and makes admins more efficient as well. Also, definitely saves time. Everything you just saw wasn't just AI for AI's sake. It solves real operational challenges. Courses are built 10x faster, assessments created in seconds, not hours, instant support for learners and admins, and consistency and accuracy across all your trainings. With that, I will conclude this short demo. My name